after evaluating the film from Duke, as we look at our team, starting to get closer to the team to which we thought we could be and getting better, and envisioned that the things that where we're getting to offensively, developed much more of an identity, ran the football extremely well in the game. Duke was 7th in the country, I believe, going in against the run, and we knew we wanted to establish the run. Thought both our backs ran really well. Our offensive line, for the most part, blocked on the run really, really well. I think on third down, they were, I think, 2nd in the country in giving up third downs, under 25%. We had one of our best days getting better on third down, establishing. We established right out of the gate with a good drive, getting James off to a good start and the team off to a good start. And the first drive, actually first 2 drives, we had 3 drives of over 83 yards, 4 with 10 plays or more. But at the same time, we had to finish more. It should have been 34, 37 points on the board, somewhere 31, 34, 35, somewhere in that range. And then a shortened game, because you only had really those 8 possessions in that regard. So it was more like a pro game because their possessions were long and our possessions were long. But at the same time, you got to finish better. We had a couple untimely penalties, a couple holding calls, and they said 2 guys on the ball. They hurt us in a couple situations. Need to finish on a big play a little better. Could have gotten the end zone one time, but they missed a block down there in the first drive of the second half. Started the first half very well, started the second half very well with long drives, in control of the game. Had missed 1 block on those drives that set us behind. But at the same time, defensively, played very well for the most part. Gave up a couple 3rd and longs, one time on the 3rd and 17. We lost contain. Got everybody covered down. Got a loop stunt, just completely lost contain. Got him. He gets outside, and in the scramble rules, and they make a throw down the field. We can't let that happen. They gave up 1 drive, but our defense did a great job, I thought, on the second interception. We were throwing it away, and he got hit. Did it on sudden change when the game was tied. They did a great job, and then they punted it to us, and we did a heck of a job with a 90-some yard drive, coming right back to win it. 2 big third downs. James again grew up, made big plays when he had to. Stood in there, took a couple hits when he had to, but you have to on 3rd and long. Thought Logan Tyler was outstanding on the day, punting the football. Thought he was a game changer in the deal, the way he did those things. Again, Ricky had a nice solid day, and then had a short field goal in his PATs. But we're being consistent in the kicking game, doing a good job in that regard, and getting better. Again, we're getting much closer. Still a lot of things to work on. Getting to put more points on the board. Had a big play on defense too on the turnover. I thought when on the trick play we got back there, excellent hustle by Rice breaking out of the stack. We got the ball tipped and up in the air. But again, winning on the road, getting a nice win on the road, 6 wins on the road, and getting better. And but a lot more efficiency when you grade the film. You go back and you have corrections and mistakes. Not half as many, but you still, it's got to equate into points, and we've got to translate that. That's the next step, and I think we're heading in the right direction. Questions?
We have the microphone.
Jimbo, you mentioned the efficiency being better, and that needs to translate to points. I guess what are things that you guys can do better to start turning those yards into points?
You had 2 penalties. You had a 1st and 10, 20, got a penalty on a holding call. Had 2 guys on the ball, which I ain't gonna touch that. We're down there to get points, and I can look at the film and see. And then we're running out the clock at the end. Have a 30-yard gain to go us to 50, and we get that. I mean, it basically come down to a couple penalties. And then one bad decision by James. 3rd down, he should just go ahead and checked it down, took the field goal, and got up 10-0 after the holding call, and that's about it. It's that simple. I mean, it's that simple, and what we got to do.
I know you said you didn't want to touch on it, but what was the call? What did they say happened? It seems like you don't think that happened.
Well, they said a guy was covered up. We had an illegal guy downfield. One guy's a yard off the ball, another guy's over a yard and a half off the ball.
Gotcha. So, I mean, with those plays, though, I don't know, you don't like to use the word frustrating, but it did seem in that game like you guys were close.
Oh,
like 35, 38 points.
That's what I'm saying. It's there. I mean, but you have to still go do that. It's not close and good enough. But the reason why the things are happening, they can see it, the vision that come off, the consistency in drives. 3rd down, we were 6 of 13. We were much better. Picked up 3rd and long, picked up 3rd and short, broke a 3rd and short for a big one. Should have broke another one. If a receiver releases outside and runs off, on the other one, the other 3rd and short that he popped out, he scores. The first drive of the second half. And Nooney getting used to the ball more. Not the ball he gets on that side of the field, he's got to put in the end zone. And that's not Chris, but we hadn't gotten him in the offense a lot. He hadn't had a lot of plays. When he gets to running and playing, you'll never get him on the ground in that. He was just so happy to get the ball out in space like that. It hadn't happened for him for a while. You know what I mean? That's not a criticism of him. Just as we get this thing going, but we're getting very close. And you hit those 1 or 2 little big plays, and you get that executed. And then like the first drive of the second half, we could have scored there. And we have perfect plays. Missed 1 block on a 2nd and 7. We have a guy wide open in the right corner of the end zone. We're going to him. He's blocking inside, he slid off. I mean, he was down on the guy physical and just slid off, and the guy that's where he got the sack. in that regard. I mean, just there's a few inches. We got to keep fighting for them, but the things are there, and we got to do a better job in coaching them and putting them in that position and there. But it's very close, and the efficiencies of running the football, the balance, runs, throws, mixing the ball around. Every receiver caught it, backs caught it, tight end caught it. You know, different backs running it. The fullback got involved, catching a couple passes in the game. You know, Vickers done a great job blocking. Now you got him a couple. He had a big catch for 20-some yards in the game. And you're starting to see it evolve in that regard. But we got to put points on the board.
Sorry, you held you to 10 points, but defensively, were you looking for more pressure up front, or was that the game plan?
We got pressure. Now, one thing they do, they get it out. Now, there's a couple times, though, 2 or 3 times I thought now Sweat had a big hit. Burns, he hit the quarterback 4 times. They batted, tell you what, they did a good job, but they batted about 4 balls. They got penetration and got their arms up. I'd like to have a little more pressure. We got to get some more internal pressure a little bit. Sweat had a big sack in a 2-minute, and he got a big hit there one time on a 3rd down, 3rd and 5, and the guy hit it, got hit just as he released it, and Burns did too. But, we're interested in getting a couple more negative play sacks that way. We got to continue that and what we're doing and cover down a little bit better in the middle, right there. Cover our linebackers a couple times on the draw. We got to read the draw when they lead it and go collapse it, which we did the second half. First half, that was what was getting us. They weren't reading the draw and collapsing it down, and then and play the pass coverage a little bit better.
Jimbo, how important is what Logan Tyler's been able to do the last couple of weeks? He had a 60-yarder the other day.
Again, we've looked hard, made live looks. I mean, made it go at it. We've changed some. He's worked on some technique things and just really grinding. I said he had been hitting the ball like that during spring and most of camp, and then had that one bad game, the first one when. Sometimes you get nervous, but now he's relaxed, and you can see the talent level in which I love on him. Because he has a game-changing leg. In other words, what I'm saying is can change field position so easily with one kick. And when you do that, man, it's huge.
Jimbo, obviously with what happened at Louisville last year, is this a game that your team, the coaching staff is taking personally?
No. All game. That game's over. It's a different team, different place. You know what they're capable of. You know that guy that has the ball. That guy's the most dynamic player in college football. Because when you do everything right, you can't get him sometimes. And they're well coached. They do a great job. But you don't take any of that person. If you take a person, then you get in your head, and you can't play. You make bad decisions. You got to play the game with the team you have right now, with the team they have, and you play the game to compete. They had a great game. They got us. Okay, let's line up and play this year. Look at the mistakes we made. Look at the things we do. See what they do, and apply it to our team and play.
You guys have had a lot of success on the road recently. Do you attribute that success to anything specifically to your preparation?
I'll be honest, and as crazy as it sounds, you have less distractions for players. You get away. We leave on, by leaving on Thursday night, you get away. You get a great night's sleep. You get up, do academics all day, get all your academics done until noon that day. We have the tutors, we have everybody with them. They get as much or more done then when you get to stay home because of the meetings and how you have to do things. So we do a great job there. You kind of sequester yourself together, and you know why you're there. You're not out. No friends, people bothering you. And now I love playing. I'd rather play here in Doak Campbell with all these fans and that loud noise and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it does bring you together, and your mindset and how you do things is huge. It really is.
Jimbo, with Dickerson being out, sort of Kelly there and football on tackle. How did those two guys do it?
I thought Kelly had a good, solid game. He played well ball. Had some youth mistakes at times on his sets. Got to set a little tighter, a little more vertical, but just anxious, getting out wide, but blocked well. Didn't have any penalties. Got lined up, blocked for one twist guy came off on him, but for the most part, played a very solid football game for his first start. But he got a chance to be a really good player if he keeps it. He's athletic and long.
Have you ever coached against anyone quite like Lamar Jackson? What does he do that's so unique?
The athletic, the complete ability to read and throw down the field and create long plays, throw it short. And then the complete ability, not just to run or run over you, but you can't get your hands on. And as I say, my term I like to say, he's deer-like. That fast twitch, it can just jump sideways. Like I tell him, I ain't never seen a deer be slow. I ain't never seen a deer need stretched. Whatever it needs to do, it just takes off and jumps, runs, does whatever. That's kind of like he does. He's right there. All of a sudden, you'll have him, and he can. He has an instinct to move in a certain area, and you got 3 guys around him, and all of a sudden they don't touch him. There's unique players like that, and tell you what he is too, really tough and competitive. You really watch that film, he's an excellent competitor and a very tough guy too.
I know there haven't been any quarterbacks quite like him. Have you ever coached a receiver or a skill position player that's?
Yeah, I've had some skill guys that are in that mold, that are that fast or could be a little faster or twitchy like that, but they don't touch the ball every play, weren't able to throw it and make the decisions he does and all that. I guess you have to say a Michael Vick type guy. He's like Vick was back in the day. I remember all those great teams in that national championship game. I remember all that whole defense they had there. There was a ton of first-round guys that couldn't touch him. I mean, if I remember, Virginia Tech was winning going into the fourth quarter. And a lot of it had to do with him just trying to get him on the ground. And not against nobody. I mean, he's just one of those types of special athletes that comes around every so often.
All right, we'll go to the phone for Chris.
Hey, Jimbo, how you doing?
All right, Chris, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. Talk about Louisville's defensive line. I know last year when we played against them in Louisville, they kind of gave Francois a run for his money all day because they kept coming in different corners. Is that one thing we have to work on this week to protect the quarterback a little bit better?
We're going to have to. We're going to have to now. James Hearns goes right here in Lincoln, from right here in Tallahassee, does an excellent job on the end. Big, rangy, athletic, stands up, gets down, can rush. Does a great. And Trevon Young, the other guy, athletic, long guys, man, that can rush and bend the edge. Inside with Richardson, Bailey, all those guys, Robinson. I mean, those guys are all big, physical guys, and they always got good players. And they're big. Their front guys are big and long, and look like our guys. I mean, they're athletic and a really good team, and play very physical. There's no doubt. And they put pressure, and like I say, Gennard leads them with 11 and a half tackles for loss. He leads them in sacks with 5, number 58, and he's listed as a backup. So when that goes, you're in trouble. When your backup's got the most tackles for loss, and he started versus BC, but in sacks, you're pretty good.
And I want to do a follow-up, third down, because I was looking at the stats from last year against Louisville. We were 2 for whatever. Is that something you got to work on better against this Louisville squad?
No, I want to stay there. I'm like, wait. It's something we're working as a team, which we got better at, spent a lot of time on. And here's the thing on third down. I mean, is first and second down have a lot to do with third down. We all get on third down conversion, but we had 3 third and shorts last week. We converted some 3rd and 5 and 6. Now we converted 2 big 3rd and 7 pluses on that last drive, and we're getting better in all those areas. But we got to make sure that we're in makeable situations. These guys can't just lay their ears back and kill us.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Thank you, buddy.
Jimbo, with Lamar Jackson, was there anything that you took away from last year as far as better how to contain him coming into this game?
Yeah, see if you can get 13 guys on the field. Get an extra guy on either end to come off. That'd be the best way to do it. You got to mix it. You can't give him the same looks. I mean, he's got to have different looks, but at the same time, you get yourself out of position, and we forget it's all Lamar, and all of a sudden they got good receivers, they got good backs, tight end, and Bobby knows how to use those guys, so they feed off of that. And they run the zone read, they run the counter with him, they run every run a back would run with an extra blocker. So I mean, that makes it extremely difficult on how to play him, and he can run like that.
Jimbo, did that game almost feel like an ambush at some point? Because nobody knew that Lamar would be quite what Lamar became. It was early in the season. You guys had just lost Roland James. It just seemed like it was one of those.
And it was a weird deal because if you remember when it happened, they had scored early, but then we had rebounded and hit a nice drive, and it was 14-10. Remember in the second quarter, we hit Auden Tate on about an 18-yard touchdown. It was 14-10 with about 10 minutes. And I knew they would be pumped up because they had played 2 teams that were lesser teams, and they had all, and that was their big game, and that's been, they had us up there, if you remember a couple years ago, Muhammad Ali was there, and that whole night, and it was a big deal to beat us, and we were able to come out there in a heck of a game with them, and that was a big game for the league, and I knew they'd be juiced, and then when we recovered from I always say the onslaught, you know what I mean? We matched their energy, and then played really well, and got to 14-10, and the next drive, if you remember, there was a 3rd and 8, we had a ball tipped, and we had a guy covered, something crazy happened. I don't remember what it was, and they were able to pick up a 3rd down and got it. And then all of a sudden, we had a missed assignment and turned the wrong way and knocked the ball out of our hand, if you remember right. It's all it was. We had scored 2 drives in a row. It was 14-10, and then they got a 3rd down conversion somehow on a play that we should have had. And then they scored, and then the next play, I think we opened the wrong way and on a fake, and the ball hit the back, and they fumbled, and they got it back and scored. Man, and all of a sudden it just snowballed, and it was. And then it came special teams, and they fed off of it, and they were prepared and did a great job. But they were ready to play, and I thought we had weathered that storm, and then we were just too young to handle it at that time, and it was a shame because they got an onslaught, and it shouldn't have been nothing like it was. Because it became, we punted bad. Remember, we hit a bad punt in the middle of the field real short, and they hit it on the run, returned 2 big punts in that game. I mean, they did a great. They hit us in all phases.
Remember, you said it's 2 different teams, it's a different season, but you have a lot of kids that were on the field that day.
Mm-hmm.
How, as a coach, do you want them to remember what that
Yeah,
was
I mean,
like?
you remember what they're capable of. No, I mean, that this can happen. Now, I've got to go prepare and play. I mean, you see it every year. I kid with that watching the other night. Somebody had played somebody, had an unbelievable game against them. Well, matter of fact, it might have been Lamar and him against NC State. I remember the game he had against NC State, and NC State plays their tails off against him the other night. You got to remember what that guy's capable of. You always know. I mean, the fear that's like that, the famous heavyweight when you fought George Foreman. No matter if you beat George Foreman, you better know that right hand. If he catches you with it, you're going to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? And you know Lamar, whatever, you cannot let up any play, any section of anything they do because this guy, what he's capable of. But you got to go play, and it's a new year, new team, and do what you do.
Is that easier said than done with 20-year-old kids?
No, sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. Sometimes the youth of it makes it better. But the guys feel that, hey, all right, you got me that time. It's like at the park, you beat me 11-0, okay, I come back and play and I beat you this time. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna compete against you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying we're gonna win, but at that time, you know, the youth can also be very helpful, just as much as it does. Because you know, young guys, when their pride gets hurt, you know, they bounce back usually pretty good.
Jimbo, Jacquez obviously is running really well. How far has he come from when he was a freshman? It seemed like that was something you had to harp on.
It was, and just learning who he was is about the type of back he is. Just like we're doing with Cam right now, the type of runs you got to make, and then we'll lead to big runs. But then if you really watch, the thing Jacquez is doing too, the pass blocking, the chipping, all the different things, and the route running, where he's got to be. There's so many things that go into the intricacies of an offense. We see the runs and that, but the timing, and like I always say this, I always say offense is so hard to be consistently good at times because of rhythm and timing. He knows where to be on checkdowns, how to chip, where a guy's going to need help. He made a pickup the other day on that play that we hit Nooney on, that there was a twist inside. And I mean, it's an unbelievable twist. We got picked, and the guy came around. Well, after the block, he's taught because of that look to check the A-gap before he goes out. He checks it. Here comes the guy free, hits the guy right in the mouth. We able to stand up, and throw that ball to Nooney, and pick it up. I mean, it's things that people never see that made that play go on. It's not just the running and things. I mean, it's just all the little things that how you got to help out. And you know, it's like when you're helping your neighbor. Hey, I need a little help here with trimming this tree, and you know you don't do much, but you go over and just hold something, but it allows him the things to function. He's doing so many of those things. It's crazy. And really, and what's good, takes pride in it. Takes a lot of pride in it, and understands when you're young and you're told you're the greatest. Hey, just give me the ball and I go score. You know what I'm saying? And all those guys understanding how to really play team football. And he's doing a great, and leading on the sideline, doing a really good job.
Jimbo, what does a guy like Derwin, what can he provide to help you guys defend Lamar Jackson?
Well, I mean, different looks, multiplicity of being, whether he's got to match up and cover somebody and let somebody else rush or blitz or play coverage or whatever it may be, or him himself on the edge getting a better athlete, you know, in space on the guy and things like that. So, I mean, it is a multiplicity of where you can use him, whether he takes something away, let somebody else do something, or allow him himself to do something.
Kind of like a decoy, so to speak, right?
No, not decoy. No, because when you're covering somebody, you ain't a decoy. That ball can come to him.
But more so in the sense that they have to account for him, so it allows other people to.
Well, you got to account for him, or you got to account for other guys too. But I mean, you know, where how your matchup is, or how you think, all right, because maybe they, you know, allow two guys an inside, maybe it frees Nadi up, because now he gets on the edge, he's out here, you got to play that. Now let's Nadi, I mean, or whatever it may be. It's not really I mean, it's not to that extent, but I don't think. But you know, his versatility can create a lot of problems.
Jimbo, following up on Jacquez, it seems like he also embraced Cam. You know, there's so much hype about Cam, but he calls him his little brother. And how helpful has that been in terms of a leadership standpoint?
You know where that comes from, in my opinion? Devontae Freeman and James Wilder, Carlos Williams, Dalvin Cook. I mean, if you ever watched, remember when Freeman and Wilder used to run? You think they were twin brothers. And Carlos, those three guys on the side, he had three-headed man. All those guys, I mean, they were all highly regarded. Wanted to make a play. They were more excited for the guy than they were for themselves. And then, you know, they did that with Dalvin. You know, when Carlos and them were here with Dalvin, he did that for them. And Dalvin did that for Jacquez. And I think understanding, you need two guys, you need three guys, and it's the team concept. And listen, when you know you can play, and you're a good player, you don't. All right, listen, I'm gonna get mine. I got to have this guy help me. You know what I'm saying? And it's supreme confidence in yourself, and I think it's been passed down.
Jim, I believe you have 4 turnovers in 5 games. Is this just a cyclical thing, or is there something you can do more to create more turnover opportunities?
Well, you just got to play hard, get tips. Turnovers come in bunches. You got to play sound football. You can't go play for turnovers. You start gambling, now big things come. You get pressure. You got to rush the passer, make the ball come out early, be in tight coverage. When those things happen, take advantage of the opportunities. Tackle in bunches, strip the ball. You know, creating pressure to the quarterback and different things in that nature, and then creating negative first down plays. creating first and second down plays to get negative to try to create long yardage situations to make people take chances. I mean, in that regard too, and just keep playing hard, sound defense. And when you get a chance to make a play on the ball, you got to make a play.
I was wondering if I could ask a little bit more about Jonathan Vickers. Was he initially receptive to making that move, and have you seen him kind of embrace being the guy who gets the block that springs the game-winning touchdown and that sort of thing?
No, there's no doubt. Jonathan's a great guy. He's learned that role, and he can catch the ball. And now we're starting to incorporate him in the running game more, catching the ball out of the backfield, a complete guy. And again, little unsung hero things in what you do, and that's when he sees that's where his role was, and he got very good at it. He's being very unselfish and doing a good job.
With Cam, you talked about at the beginning of the year how he wanted to break every run. How have you seen him develop into a more patient runner?
Well, I mean, we're educating him. Jay's doing a great job of educating him every day on where the run should go, not the result of the run. The read takes you here. You stay here. You push that pile. You hit that hole. You do this. Trust everything about the process, about how he does it. Jay's doing a great job of that, and we're trying to do that offensively. And then then that natural instincts, because what I think happens when you're trying to break touchdown runs, it goes back to my saying, see a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. He's seeing everything. We're trying to bounce around instead of training his eyes to read the blocking scheme in front and reacting. And all of a sudden, that road's taking you to where you got to go, and now the big runs are starting to come.
At wide receiver, do you have hopes of getting Keith Gavin and George Campbell back in the mix this week, or what's their prognosis?
We'll see in time. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
This is gonna be kind of an odd question, but do you enjoy, if you were coaching against him this week, would you enjoy watching Lamar Jackson's film?
Yeah, I mean, you enjoy watching any kind of player that is dynamic like that, because you don't get to see those guys like that all the time.
But as a coach, I assume you don't rewind it like, oh wow, look at that play. That's an unbelievable play. I want to.
Oh yeah, I will. If I'm watching film, I'm watching defense. Go back and say, wow. Because then you look back and say, all right, how did he do that? And what did he do that? Is there certain keys to the way he moves? Does he cut a certain way? Does he spin a certain way? Does he always look a certain way? There's certain things that happen that he likes to do. I mean, you study it as you admire it.
Has there ever been an opponent, going back in all your years, that you really admired and you made a point of watching this film and rewind it?
Oh, lots of them. I do. I mean, I respect other guys and people who play the game and play the game hard and play it the right way. I have, been receivers, been offensive linemen. I mean, been phenomenal offensive linemen I went back and watched. Running backs, quarterbacks, defensive linemen. I go back and watch. Some of those guys I've played against and coached against, you go, Lord Almighty. You sit there and you're crying as you're watching it, but you just admire the ability and the admiration of how to play the game. Guys have been on your team. I've been on teams with guys and used to go watch the defensive film. Of certain players just to watch them play. Guys that I've been here with. I respect guys who play the game the right way and have that certain ability.
Jimmy, you mentioned how James is giving you good information when he comes off the field. How about after reviewing film and week to week, is he not making the same mistakes more than once?
No, he isn't. He doesn't. And he comes in, he'll come in after watching his film at home with an iPad. I have a list of questions. I did these wrong. Did you see? And I'll have my list of things and just things that interacts. He likes that interaction and things and doesn't repeat things a lot. A couple things. There's things that are harder that you got to work more time on. They're not polished, but you see him getting better and better each day.